Tecnologia e cultura sono sempre andati a braccetto. Grandi innovazioni tecnologiche hanno sempre portato a grandi trovate culturali e viceversa. Senza grandi trovate culturali non si sarebbero avute grandi idee tecnologiche. È sempre stato così e lo sarà anche adesso, soprattutto adesso che abbiamo dei telefoni con cui riusciamo a gestire moli enormi di dati, che riescono ad avere accesso a banche enormi di dati e che riescono a fare delle operazioni impensabili. Ma cosa vuol dire fare cultura adesso? Ce lo spiega Jeffrey Schnapp, guru di quel movimento di innovazione accademica, culturale, che si chiama Digital Humanism, ovvero quell'idea per cui le scienze umanistiche si possono affrontare in un modo nuovo, più efficace, più affascinante. Ma lasciamo a lui la parola, ora, ascoltiamolo.
Digital humanities are not about a continuation of traditional humanistic disciplinary habits and traditions. They go beyond that. There are many aspects that involve continuity, but they are also disruptive vis-a-vis our traditional ideas about humanistic inquiry. And that disruption assumes the form of, to put it in a more positive framework, of a set of innovative possibilities. And those possibilities involve doing better work, scholarship of greater rigor, and performing scholarly work that has an audience that's vastly expanded, that goes, in other words, well beyond the confines of the distribution network of print-based knowledge. Scholarship also that cuts across the boundary line between the humanities and the natural sciences or the social sciences. In other words, scholarship that opens up the question of where the humanistic begins and ends in some new and powerful ways. And it's also scholarship, I think, in some cases, that where questions of design become integral to the scholarship itself. And maybe I'd like to say just a couple more things about that, because maybe that's the most enigmatic of the propositions that I just pronounced. But I could think of myself not so much as a historian, which is what I was trained to be, a cultural historian focused on the 13th and 14th centuries, even though I mostly work on 20th century and 21st century today. But I think of myself as a knowledge designer, principally. In other words, when we move out of the world which was the familiar world of knowledge that shaped all of our institutions of knowledge, from libraries to archives to the classroom space to universities, which was print. Print as associated, of course, with periodicals, but also particularly in the case of the humanities, associated with books, with forms of argument that assume the form of books. As we move out of that world into a world where books and print culture has to exist within an ecology that's much more complex and much richer, and where digital forms, not just digital forms, but also, for instance, dynamic media forms like video assume an increasing role in forms of argumentation and knowledge presentation. Every research question becomes a design question. All of that work that print did to essentially standardize formats, to develop conventions that were shared conventions within scholarly communities, within communities of experts, that once, in a sense, constrained the production of knowledge. All those questions are right now up for grabs. And under digital_humanities, we really try to explore that world where, in a sense, research questions are attached to design propositions, where you have to think about what your knowledge looks like at the output phase, which is to say you have to think about it at every phase, right from the beginning. And every research question becomes a design question, in a sense. So I think of the work of digital humanities as very much about designing in the complete sense of the word design. Everything from design in the professional sense, graphic design, information design, data visualizations, web design, but also at the conceptual level. How do you design? What are the genres in which you communicate or convey a complex body of information that is the outcome of a research process? So also design in the sort of deeper senses of like the genres of that knowledge is conveyed and communicated in. So by digital_humanities, what I understand and what the book tries to explore is really this sense of emerging knowledge forms where the digital transforms, inflects, reshapes our ideas about the chunks, the units that make up argument, presentation, knowledge, science, and scholarship.
Design e ricerca scientifica, due cose all'apparenza radicalmente diverse, ma che evidentemente hanno grandi punti comuni e soprattutto insieme possono dare delle grandissime potenzialità. Se siete curiosi vi consiglio di andare sul sito di stand della Stanford University, cercare la sezione Digital Humanism, troverete tantissimo, tantissimo, tantissimo. Ora alla prossima ragazzi, come sempre Jedi for Job, che la forza sia con voi.